In early 1700s, the Mughal was spreading their power to the south in Indian peninsula. The Gond Raja Bhakt Buland Shah served the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and embraced Islam. In 1702, Buland Shah founded the city of Nagpur by joining 12 small villages. He encouraged people to settle in Nagpur and facilitate trade and commerce. In 1739, when Chand Sultan, the successor of Gond Raja, died, Maratha leader Raghuji Bhosle of Berar district took over. The last Maratha leader in Nagpur, Raghuji III, ruled until 1830. In 1853, when Raghuji III died without any heir, the kingdom was annexed by the British Raj under the doctrine of lapse. The narrow gauge railway line facilitated the Sunday vegetable market, where people from surrounding villages came here to sell their commodities, majorly vegetables. Thus, the name Itwari, where Itwar means Sunday. Muslims already existed in Nagpur since the Gond period, of which the Bohra community settled in this region of Itwari. Bohra literally means a businessman, giving us a clue that as to why Itwari is primarily a commercial market area. After independence, various other communities came to Nagpur in search of work. One such community is Parwar Jain community of Bundelkhand, Madhya Pradesh. And as Itwari is already a commercial area, they settled here and a new residential area called Parwarpura was born in Itwari. Since the people came to Itwari in search of work, we can see mixed land use, having shops and godowns on ground floor, and underground levels also used as temperature controlled storages nowadays, and their homes on upper floors. This house belongs to Mr. Namdev Chhabria, who, also like others, came to Itwari in search of work in 1950s. My ancestors lived in Sindh, Pakistan and had shifted to India after partition. We used to live at Nehru Putla on lease and did menial works. Only in 1971, we bought and built our own house here at Maskasat Chowk, he told. He also told us that they used to sleep outdoors on terrace at nights, as indoors used to get hot during night time. But in contrast, we felt that the temperature indoors was much lower than outdoors during daytime. We also noticed that the buildings were closely spaced, there was lack of natural light and ventilation inside the structure, and were fulfilled by using large jalis and skylight in the stairwell. The long continuous balcony facilitated the circulation between different spaces inside the house as well as giving a view onto the market street below. This can also be pointed out clearly from their facades. As Parwarpura grew slowly after independence, it took a very organic form of settlement, having very small to no marginal spaces at all between the structures. The influence of Maratha and British architecture is also seen here. Being a community at large, they follow their religious traditions very firmly, giving them a reason to integrate and interact with each other in public spaces such as their temples. They also celebrate their festivals, principal festival being Mahavir Jayanti, very enthusiastically in their temple. We noticed that there was an entrance gate on the main road adding to the imageability of the area, demarcating that the area belongs to the Jain community. As we entered inside through the gate, there was the Digambar Jain Mandir on right, presently under construction. And had residential buildings around it. There are Jain Dharamshalas where the guests and the gurus stay on their short visits during the festivals, one of which is the Digambar Jain Dharamshala in Parwarpura, Itwari. Though Itwari was a commercial market since the beginning, it has transformed in many ways. The image and structures of the market we see today all are transformations of around 1950s. Earlier, the vegetable market was only on Sunday, now runs every day in Parwarpura. The narrow gauge railway line has shut down as more and more people have their own vehicles to travel for work. This indicates as to why Itwari has become a congested area. As one approaches the main road of Itwari, various small markets are seen along the road. And what I mean by small market is few people come together having same commodity to sell in proximity. Example, Tabla market, Mirchi Bazaar, Tokri market, Agarbatti, etc. These small markets and statues on main road form nodes and in a way help people for wayfinding. Finally, we come ahead to the wholesale Kirana market on the main road, for which Itwari today is known for. Remember Mr. Namdev Chhabria? He has his wholesale Kirana shop for coconut, turmeric, betel nuts and dry fruits. There are many such wholesale Kirana shops on the main road. There is a small lane where most of the shop owners are Malayalis from Kerala, and so the lane is identified with the name of Kerala Gully by the local people. This complete wholesale Kirana market is run by an association of their own called Nikamma or Nagpur Itwari Kirana Merchants Association. Main road of Itwari has undergone widening several times, traces of which can be seen on the facades of the building. The day here at market starts early in the morning around 5 am, where unloading of goods take place. As trucks are not allowed to enter the main road from 8 am to 9 pm. Only small good carriers are allowed to load or unload after the shops open at 11 am. All the spaces between the buildings abutting the main road are occupied by these small carriers for parking as and when required. This forms a space for carrier drivers and other laborers called hamals to interact. Facilitating them and also the shopkeepers, there are vendors on the road. In the evening, mostly the goods are loaded onto the carriers to be dispatched. As we see intersections on the main road, namely Bharat Mata Chowk, Maskasat Chowk, Mirchi Bazar Chowk and Nehru Putla Chowk, they connect the other parallel main road called Bhandara Road through very narrow lanes called Oli. The Olis get their name from the type of commodities sold there. There are various Olis connecting both the main roads. They are Chemical Oli, Chuna Oli, Loha Oli, Kirana Oli, Resham Oli and Poha Oli. One small lane connecting to Loha Oli has only utensils and is thus called Bartan Oli. Every Oli has its identity in terms of visual scene of commodities or smell of it sometimes. The Bartan Oli has utensils everywhere, shining and sparkling all through the street, and Chuna Oli have bags of cement and putti, and Poha Oli have their commodities on display in front of their shops. But these Olis are now on verge of losing their identity because more and more people have started shifting their homes from Olis and only coming here for work. As a result, the houses above the shops are adaptively reused as godowns or given to the brokers, also called dalal locally, to run their offices, or also sometimes left abandoned. The lanes are so narrow that there is very little space for vehicles to enter into it. So, most of the people park their vehicles on the main road and walk into the Oli. This is another reason as to why there is very less parking space at peak hours of the market. On one hand, narrow lanes facilitate people with mutual shading almost throughout the day. It also makes it very tough for construction practices to go on, preventing the development of spaces to a certain extent. Talking of development, when we asked the shop owners about the change they might want or expect in near future for Olis, they said that they were happy with the type of space they have. Mostly people celebrate festivals at home with their family and friends and have holiday at work. But there are people who actually work on festivals, especially Diwali. The streets, otherwise having vendors on both the sides of the road, are now seen having sellers even on the dividers. not leaving space for any vehicle to leave. All this commotion being on one side of the coin, on the other side we can see all the shops decorated nicely for the puja on Diwali. Various other festivals are celebrated in Nitwari. The most important of them is Pola Marbat. It is a 10-kilometer long procession, of which Nehru Putla Chowk is high point in the procession. It is celebrated by Teli Samaj as a symbol of driving out disease and evil. It is also celebrated as a gesture of protest against ongoing issues of that time, like from against Bakabhai Bhosle during Bhosle dynasty, who was accountable for entry of Britishers into Nagpur to protest for Pakistan to leave Kashmir alone. All the pent up feelings of what is politically incorrect is expressed through this festival on Pola Marbat.